What's good with it? My name is Troy Evans, man, and this is a special edition of It's a Vibe, man. At the end of the day, I'm a pastor, an engineer, and who just so happened to become a strategist. And we decided to smash those together and create what we know now as Simple Now, where we make AI easy. Look here. Now, I have invited some family and friends who all work with me at building both our nonprofit side of our world and our for-profit side of the world. At the end of the day, we have this nonprofit where we equip leaders to do the work of ministry. And then we decided that, man, we're doing this equipping. Man, we have services we can provide to the world, and we can lower the cost of it. We can make it affordable, and we can bring great services through training, through strategic planning, through app development and integration. Now, what up though? I am really excited. I now am sitting here with my youngest child by the name of Erin, Broadway. I would prefer her last name be Evans, but she chose to get married, and that's okay, I guess. But man, I'm excited for y'all to meet someone that's behind the scenes a lot and handles. She's now my executive assistant, and she does everything. And so thank you so much, Erin, for being here.
You're welcome.
So I have a lot of children. She is the youngest.
Yes.
And so, man, let's start with your journey. You know, you didn't start as being my assistant.
No.
So what is it? What is your experience? What have you done?
Let's say I would say I started since I was in high school, pretty driven to be a chef in the culinary industry, and so that's where I started out. Went to culinary school for a few years and then graduated, and then was able to be a chef for a couple of some well-known families, and to be their private chef for a while.
All right, we had some discussions when you were younger. And it's almost like it was offensive. Like you got like a chef, you got a cook, you got a chef, you got a sous chef, you got executive chef, you got private chef, personal chef. What is the difference?
There's a lot. So a private chef and a personal chef, that's the biggest confusion. Private chef is someone like where I was in somebody's home, one set family's home, round the clock. That's my family. A personal chef is a person who you can hire their services like a contractor and then go to different people's houses and make different people's meals. So private is solely one person, personal can travel around pretty much.
Is the training different?
No. Conventionally, private chef is more intense and more fine dining. With personal chef, it can be just like family meals or meal prep and stuff like that, but private chef is more fine dining, but same training.
You did both, right?
Yeah,
So which one did you prefer and why?
I like both for different reasons. I like the private chef because I always enjoyed being creative and doing fancy meals, but I like personal chef because I was kind of more in control of the people I worked for, I cooked for and stuff like that, so both.
To be clear, you work for $2 billion families, right?
And 1 million, but yeah.
One million, yeah, and $1 million. So three families. And then what was the difference in those three different experiences?
Big difference. So the $1 million family, it was a family of probably 10? 9 or 10.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
And that was interesting. So almost everybody ate separate things. Wife vegan, dad pretty much ate whatever, but the kids all ate different things. So that one was kind of difficult, but in a weird way. Like I would have to heat up like 50 nuggets for one kid and do. So that one was interesting, but it was way more personable. I built a relationship with the family more. When we got to billionaires, there was a really nice family. I lived with them for about a month. Yeah, a month, and I cooked for them throughout the month, and they're super fun, that part of the family. And then I went to another one. They're a lot more strict, and say the least. Yeah.
That's where things, we can talk about it, like that's where things shift.
Yeah.
What shifted in you? What were you feeling? Your raw dog feeling?
Raw feelings. I felt like the help. I felt like a
slave.
What does that mean? So I just felt like, Yeah, I just felt like a slave, like in an old, I felt like a slave. Like to summon me, they rung a doorbell. I couldn't speak to them unless I'm spoken to. I was the only one that couldn't speak to the Mr. and Mrs. directly. So it was definitely weird.
Also, there are other staff members that could, but as a cook, now understand she's a high level, high paid person. So it was even about that. You know, I'm saying on flying on jet and doing all that stuff. It was so even about stature. It was just like, no, we're just going to. You don't have a right to
Yeah.
speak to us.
Yeah, it was just from the start a big obstacle. Yeah.
So there will be some people of influence that watch this, that do have people, whether they're cooking, whether they're cleaning, whether they're doing administrative work for them, they're doing executive things for them. What's your one nugget for them when they have people coming to their space?
Yeah.
What do you have? What one advice would you speak to those?
I would say get to know your people, your staff, whoever's with you. Just get to know them. Because, yeah, my biggest thing, the difference between the millionaire and the billionaire family is just the millionaire family tried to get to know me more and wanted to get to know me. So get to know your people and be genuine. Don't be fake. Get to know them.
Yeah, straight up. That's the thing. Let's jump way forward. You're doing your thing. You essentially get burnt out. Right, you get burnt out, and I love the decision that you made. And I'll recap it, speed it up a little bit. But the decision that was made was like, basically in my mind, the way I translate it is, it's like my peace means a lot more to me than that money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where my peace, and then you decided to go from doing this fine dining experience to go.
From there, fine dining, I quit and then was pretty much a lunch lady. I was pretty much a lunch lady.
Y'all gotta understand, like, this is like night and day. You're talking about, humbly, giving yourself a 3-star chef, 4-star, whatever level that is, which is ridiculous at any fine dining spot she can cook at, to go to be the lunch lady at the Y, right?
Yeah, at the YMCA.
At the YMCA.
Yeah, I was making ham and cheese sandwiches every day. But yeah, I learned that no money's gonna is
And
worth
how much
my
of a pay
peace.
cut did you take?
Numbers,
Like percentage?
percentage,
It was at least 50%, wasn't it?
way more than that.
Yeah.
Way more, yeah.
And to do that, but what were you feeling though? What did you feel when you were able to leave there and land into this other spot?
To the wife, that.
Yeah.
It was a mix. I felt so much peace leaving there, but also I just I kind of feel like what am I doing? Because that's the first time I just didn't know where I was going, what I was doing, and so coming from this driven and then get your career your height of your career, and then not be there and what am I doing?
Yeah.
But it was also came with a lot of peace and knowing that I don't have to have someone yelling at me for a fingerprint on a glass.
Oh my goodness.
So
Which I think that let's go there. So now you're doing this, and it shifts, and you are now shifting to a space where you're feeling like, man, I'm feeling this, and now it's like, yo, so what you can do is, we talk, and then I say, hey, you always were tech. I always felt that you would do well in the tech space, but you weren't a tech, person. So then I invite you to be my executive assistant, to do my stuff. So now let's dive into how you were 2 years ago as it relates to AI. Where were you?
2 years ago?
Yeah.
AI. Much like my dad, I was doing a lot of this fun random stuff, just random lookups on chat, but I wasn't really involved in AI or anything tech. I enjoy just writing stuff down by hand, thinking it out.
Yeah.
It helps me process stuff, especially writing out helps me processing. So I wasn't against AI, but I wasn't pushing to dive into it.
So bring people into as much as you want to for 1 minute, what is it like working for me? What is my world? So that people know when I say she's my executive assistant, what is the magnitude of that? Because I think it's going to help with my final questions.
Yeah, being my dad's executive assistant, it's not just like booking meetings. I don't even do that anymore because we have app that do it, but so managing different aspects of his life, the nonprofit Nitrogen, and then Simple Now, helping. I don't even know, orchestrate, make stuff just come together and stuff like that. So I'm trying to think what I do day to day. It's a lot. It's a lot changing. There's a lot of emails, making sure connections are made after like events and stuff. Make sure connections are just made in general, especially with Simple Now being a startup. Helping with apps, getting apps off the ground, like getting apps like off the ground, with helping with errors and getting stuff tested and stuff like that, and communicating to developers. I don't know, it's a lot. I can't even put it in.
I want you to show that because I want people to be as stressed out as you can be about my situation.
Yeah.
And so basically, everyone that works on my team with me, everyone accepts the responsibility that we're going to be doing it all together. And you're no different. I would say, how have you learned? Because you said some things you're doing in AI. I bet you they want, with building apps and this stuff. How have you learned to? Before I say that, so we just entered into a hackathon. It was a hackathon, 600 some people there, 90 teams. We didn't win. However, I think for us doing this for a year, we were able to place, to be in the finalists. It says a lot. And so my youngest and my oldest and me, we built that. We ended up going after and building the app and went out there to do this thing. How was that experience for you?
The experience was really cool. I haven't been, other than in the culinary industry, I haven't really been in a place where like everybody does the same thing and is so passionate. So it was really cool seeing that in the tech world, and it was inspiring. Not only just tech world, but just to be so driven and excited about something. So that was inspiring, and it was stressful for sure. And like, I'm a competitive person, so I want to bring home some money and win. But it was a really cool experience to
We'll be back next year with another idea, because now we better understand that world. We'll come get them.
For sure.
Let's land with this. So this is all about how do you use AI in your workflow. Let's land with how have you used? Maybe talk about the app you built. How did you get to that decision to use AI in your workflow?
Yeah, so I made an app. It pretty much rooted out of being frustrated with my dad's craziness of life and how I was operating in that. So I wasn't very organized. He has a lot of stuff going on. I wasn't as organized as I wanted to be. So I created an app to manage all his events and all the equipment and all the stuff that comes with events as a vendor, a speaker, or even attending. So all the logistical stuff, I made an app for that, and that's how I used AI in my workflow. And then I use it day to day with pretty much anything.
All right, and if you were talking to yourself or someone that's in your position, maybe not a chef, maybe they do whatever, and then they're diving into a new area, how would you say to them, what would be your statement to them about engaging with AI to help them move forward? What would be your advice to them?
I would say take your time with it, because when I first started, I'll just give it one sentence, a couple words, but I can see the difference now, taking your time with AI. I'm like, it takes an extra 30 to a minute to be well thought out with AI, so take your time and forming a good prompt, and then so you can get what you really need out of it. Yeah, just take your time. It's gonna save you a bunch of time, so 30 seconds won't hurt you.
Right.
Yeah.
There it is. Take your time, take it easy, and then just go ahead and communicate. And don't allow AI, you're thinking that AI is gonna be your primary solution. It's not meant to do that, it's not your God. But what it is, it's an assistant, so allow it to assist versus you being solely dependent on it. And so what that means is that you can be efficient by saying like, yo, if it normally takes me 4 hours, but this takes me an hour, and I gain 3 hours of my life back, that would be pretty dope.
Yeah.
But you guys just spend time with it. All right, y'all, this has been This has been, it's a vibe, it's been a vibe. Erin, thank you so much for joining me.
You're
You are
welcome.
awesome, your glasses are awesome.
Thank you.
And I will see you guys later. Bye, love.